knowing that the things that happen in the 3D between the two of you guys don't effing matter anymore. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. Today I want to talk about doubling down with your inner work and not necessarily in all cases, because sometimes you can, not doubling down in your 3D, claiming your person or telling your person or making plans with your person or reaching out to your person out of this attitude, like, I did this and that, this happened. I got in a little bit of a trigger and a spiral. And then I said, F it, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be strong and I'm going to face this. I'm going to go ahead and send the text message. There's nothing wrong with reaching out to your person. There's nothing wrong with calling your person. There's nothing wrong with texting them. There's nothing wrong with buying a home where you know that the two of you guys want to live, or moving across the country or even to another country to where they live, because that's where you see the two of you guys living together. Nothing wrong with taking any of those actions if you're taking those actions out of a place of trust and knowing that your end does exist, and you're not doing it in a way to make something happen. Okay. Because if you are finding yourself that you're still wavering a lot and being triggered a lot, and then you take these actions out of, if I do this, I'm showing the universe that I have trust in this. So this will make it all work. That's the problem, because you are actually thinking that you have to take this action to make something happen that it already exists, because all of creation is done. All, meaning all infinite versions of creation, exist right now. This has to be short and sweet. So before I get further into this, if you love me, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Helps my channel grow, and I appreciate that. Helps spread the love and light. If you want me to be your coach to help you manifest a change with your specific person or any other transformation in your life, because it does end up, when people start to realize that this inner work is not about their person, the inner work is filling in the parts within themselves that feel unlovable, that feel unworthy, that don't feel good enough, that feels like they're, rejected, that they are going to be abandoned, that love isn't safe. The work is all about you realizing that and loving yourself and prioritizing yourself. So then you can feel safe. Your body can feel safe receiving love or receiving money or receiving opportunities and things like that. It's really all about that. Email a short description to kim@coreunion.com if you want me to be your coach. And then go to the website, coreunion.com, book whatever you want to book. My scheduling assistant, Olga, will get back to you with my next available. So this has come up a number of times because it's a normal part of the process. If you're inspired to reach out, if you're inspired to talk to your person, and you're doing it from a place of unconditional love, no manipulation, but you're also not fearful or nervous about taking the action, then go ahead and take the action. If, however, you recently, okay, there's a somebody from probably last year who I was working with. When we first met, I'll go into the story a little bit and I'll change up some details because I want to protect her privacy. Her person was an artist. She was madly in love with him and knew that he's the one. She's like, I know that we belong together. She had a story around loss because her ex-husband passed away. He had a heart attack. So, and they loved each other very much. So there was this fear around falling in love again and really allowing herself to feel safe. But she knew that her mirror soul was her one. There was also a story around him specifically because he was very handsome. He was a successful artist. A lot of women would tend to go to the galleries to watch when he was, showing his art. And he had a lot of women wanting to be with him. So a lot of women would always kind of throw themselves at him, so to speak. And her story with him is that he would date them, and he was a bit of a ladies' man, so to speak. Okay. So we started working together. And after we started working together, after a very, very long time of not having any kind of actual relationship with him, she started to have movement with him, that they started communicating more. He started wanting to spend time with her, this and that. There was a story that she had also around intimacy. And so he would always say, we can't be intimate together because of a specific thing that she had a story around. Long story short, because this actually I have to fast forward this really fast. This is going to be the only thing I can talk about now in this video. I just got the warning that my session is about to start. Sorry about that. But anyway, we rewrote the story. We went in within and helped her let go of the fear around intimacy, the fear of abandonment, the fear of loss because of the thing that happened, the death of her husband. We also went within and started looking at the stories that she had around successful, handsome men, and also him specifically, right? So then after she did this for a good amount of time, the communication started up. And then what happened was, where he said before, I don't want to be with you, I don't want to be in a relationship, then they started to actually be intimate together. When he said he couldn't be intimate with her, they started sleeping together, more and more time together, developing a relationship. And then she would get in her fear again. And then he would tell her again, we can't see each other anymore. I only see you as a friend. And this was the dance that was happening. And this is what she was experiencing, because as she was wavering, he was wavering. As she was like getting in her trust, he would come back. And then as soon as she would get in her fear again, like, no, 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 then obviously she would experience this again. And it was very painful. And she continued, even though sometimes I told her to stop, she continued to go to every single art show that he was showing his work out of support, which I think was beautiful. But the problem of it was, there was nothing wrong with her going. The problem of it was that she would constantly observe other women wanting to, basically be with him. And then if he was having a conversation with somebody, which was normal to schmooze with people, who are coming out to see her art, she would always get in her feelings. So because of that, I suggested that she stops doing that because it was creating too much insecurity. But she continued, and so that was fine. What ended up happening was she ended up getting in her fear about one particular woman. A good amount of time passed, like it was a couple months, and they were not talking. Then one day, she was driving by where he worked during the day, and she said, F it. If I'm his wife, basically, I'm going to go right in and I'm going to go right in and talk to him. But she still had these other stories active within her because she had kind of stopped doing the inner work and she kind of fell into the 3D a little bit. So when she went there, there was another woman there. Although the woman was just a friend of his, he looked at her kind of strange. She had this weird feeling, and it sent her in such a spiral that then he reached out to her and he said, please stop, because it felt so bad for her. So when it felt so bad for her, it felt so bad for him. And he said, please stop coming by unannounced. And then that put her in even a deeper spiral, because then she felt like something must be going on, which from my perspective, this was all just pure perception. The reason why I wanted to bring it up is that was a perfect example of, she stopped going in and giving the love to herself. She gave into the fears and she stayed attached to her stories around love not being safe and him particularly. In the 3D, she was like, F it, I'm doubling down. I'm doubling down and I'm taking action. If I'm the wife, I can go in and I can talk to my husband. Don't do those things in the 3D, because when you do those things in the 3D, when you haven't actually maintained and embodied the state of love for yourself, of trust in your person and in the relationship, then when you take actions out of those ways, you're technically taking it out of manipulation and control, but you just don't realize it because you haven't been maintaining your inner state from a place of trust and in your power on a consistent basis. So then your actions that you're inspired to take are technically coming from ego and fear, that I need to do this to make this happen. So don't do Don't take actions when you're nervous, afraid, and feeling like I need to do something to make something happen. It's as simple as that. Do take action, meaning if you are truly inspired to reach out to your person and you don't worry, you're not worried about what comes out because you're saying you're speaking and communicating from a place of trust and of love, knowing that they love you equally as much as you love them, knowing that the things that happen in the 3D between the two of you guys don't effing matter anymore. When you are reaching out from that energy, then it doesn't matter what comes back, if nothing comes back or if something opposite comes back, because you're going to be so planted and so deeply in your trust that you're like, you know what? It doesn't matter because I know we belong together. Anyway, don't expect that, but you understand the point I'm trying to make. So don't double down in the 3D and take actions because, well, if we were together, I would do this, so I can do this, because you haven't fully shifted into your trust, in your power, and in the end of the two of you guys loving each other and wanting each other equally yet. Okay. Anyway, this was just kind of a public service announcement. I'm sorry I couldn't go further into this, but now I need to really go. I will come on and maybe do more of this because I was going to bring a couple other examples into this for you guys. For now, please do affirm down below that you have received this message and that you understand that you are the operant power of your reality and that your end already exists with your person, but that, okay, just affirm that. Just affirm that you know the end exists with you and your person, and reach out to me if you need me. I love you so, 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 so much. Have an amazing day. Bye.
Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us.